back on the things I've done.
Ooh.
I was trying to be someone. Play my
That's my favorite.
I didn't even know I knew this song. Get you in the dark. Are those the words?
Yeah.
Now let me show you the shape of my heart.
Ooh.
I'm more an NSYNC girl than
Same, you know?
Backstreet. Or we've never talked about this.
Yeah. I'm more in sync than Backstreet.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hi.
Hey, gals.
$1 million question. Can you see us? Can you hear us?
Oh, I thought you were going to say NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. $1 million question.
$1 million question.
Or Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC or Backstreet
I gotta
Boys.
take my shoes off. I'm too tall.
NSYNC.
Justine, what?
And your age. I'm just kidding.
Both, Lexi. Classic both and.
Class.
Whoa, Rebecca. Backstreet.
Guys.
Anyway, I was recounting, I heard this Backstreet Boys song. This place, after retreat, we went out to eat. Super late. It was like the only thing open. And anyway, They had the most unbelievable millennial playlist. And Backstreet, I've had that song in my head for like 2 days now. And I don't even... Justine, I'm sorry, but welcome to my world. This has been stuck in my head for 2 days. Are we on YouTube as well?
We sure are.
You guys, hi. I'm just not seeing anyone comment.
We're on the chat.
So I'm not
Where's
feeling
the little chat bubblies?
Connected to you.
Here we go.
Hi, Kaylee.
Oh, we got a little BSB fan over there.
BS boy. I'd never even heard BSB.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
My oldest sister is Backstreet Boys.
Noelle, stop with the 98 degrees. We're not.
Ooh, it's a contender.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's not in this.
Name one 98 degree song.
I'm sure if I would like really sit down and think of it, I can.
One. New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
Talk about I was in elementary school.
Wow,
New Kids on the Block. I got a New Kids on the Block doll. Barbie, you know what I mean? Figurine.
Mm-hmm.
I think for maybe my 8th birthday, and he had a. Who's the guy with the tail?
I don't know.
That's what I got. I had that doll with the tail. Oh my gosh, that might be my best birthday.
My sister Tanya.
That is a repressed memory. Holy moly.
She had the Justin Timberlake puppet and sync.
What are you talking about?
From the album. What was the name of that album? Exactly.
It's gonna be me. I had Lance.
I liked Lance too.
Me too, Brendan.
I'm like, nobody is on Team Lance.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. I thought Lance was... Yeah, I thought...
Look, Jennifer had all of the NSYNC marionettes.
Excuse
and
me,
bobbleheads.
Wow. I love the Beatles.
I do too.
I mean, that's a different category entirely. That blows all these people out of the water. Has one person named a 98 Degrees song.
Still haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen it.
It's the one when they're on the beach and they're like walking.
Wow. CMC Camley.
What? Oh, Ireland.
You are insane. You are an instrument of the Holy Spirit right now. I literally, 30 seconds before we went live, I felt the Lord invite me to go to Ireland, and I was like, no. I said, you have to confirm it if you want me to.
I do cherish you.
I do cherish you.
Oh, I was too busy listening to grunge rock.
Hilarious.
Hey, so was I.
Excuse me, Rhonda? Please tell us who. Tell me, because I am a not so closet, because I'll tell everybody, I'm a big Fallout Boy. Fallout Boy is like it's my jam.
I'm Taking Back Sunday.
That's a band?
Yeah, it's a band.
I don't know that.
It's pre-Fallout Boy.
One song that I would know.
Of Taking Back Sunday?
Yeah.
Their most famous one is called Cute Without the E. It's a little,
Cut?
Yeah. They're heartbroken.
Stop.
Jimmy Eat World, classic.
Yeah.
I used one of their songs for a retreat talk.
I'm just singing all the songs down.
Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots.
Wow.
Wow.
Guys,
how about, who was I going to say?
I don't know.
Wow.
Who were you?
They escaped me. Anyway, I watched Trolls Band Together. And if you guys have seen this,
Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's like the third Trolls movie.
I didn't even know.
NSYNC comes out at the end as
Stop.
Trolls.
Stop.
Aubrey
Aubrey
you know.
knows. Aubrey
You know.
probably had a holy hour with it. Honestly, Aubrey got something deep from it. I know, Obs. I know you're. Now let me show you the shape. That I was trying to say. I know the shape of your heart.
Wow.
Obs.
Could have shared iPods.
Aubrey, what? The first Trolls movie is so important to me. Can you bullet point why? Like, I want to know some things.
Oh, I know. They teased us, Rebecca. We thought it was a reunion,
What
and
are you talking about?
NSYNC came together to
Yeah,
put
they
out a new
did.
song. It was only for the movie.
I did not know
Like,
that.
why not just go on tour?
I thought that's what they were doing. It was.
We all did. We were
Do you know-
bamboozled.
Now listen, I knew about this reunion not from Trolls, but from First We Feast, the Hot Wings YouTube channel.
Yes. Mhm.
And they were so dumb on there.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys,
I could have gone without.
you were better in my high school memory than you are. That's yeah.
Oh, they did go back and tour again. New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys.
They definitely did. They definitely did. Jan, who was your we're talking different generations here, I know. So tell me, was your boy band? Who was your who was your favorite band? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Or group.
True to Your Heart, no idea.
True
Never seen
to Your
Mulan.
Heart.
Never seen Mulan.
Mulan is my favorite
it's a source
movie.
of contention here on
Where's
staff.
Jenna? Where's Jenna?
Hello, Cassandra. G. Machiavelli loves 98 Degrees too.
Guys,
You're not alone, Noelle. You got a friend over here on
I used to
YouTube.
watch the Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson reality TV show, where she's like, "Is this chicken or is this tuna?"
Yeah, no, I remember. That's it.
Pierce the veil.
Funny. Is that a band?
Yeah,
Jada?
it was an emo band.
Wow.
You know they have like emo nights now.
Debbie, hi. 80s girl. Hit us. Hit me with your best shot. What's your thing? Tell me everything. Hi, Brenda. Welcome. Brenda,
Guys,
I had to Google who won the Super Bowl. I had no idea.
friend,
I can't do it.
I never got into the Jonas Brothers.
They've got some hits. They have
Some bops.
Aubrey. I can't with you. Love Dixie Chicks. That was my first concert ever.
I think they're just called the Chicks now.
They will forever be the Dixie Chicks. And honestly, it makes me want to get out their first album again. That is.
Can I tell you a secret?
The nostalgia is washing over me
Okay.
right now. Oh, can I tell you?
In the genre, tell me.
Okay, so we're at this Zips like sports bar having dinner. They're playing the most amazing playlist of all time, millennial hits. And I was like, this is reminding me. I have a playlist on my phone called Nostalgia. I pull it out. Father Michael, he's digging through his pocket. No, wait. Pulls it out. He's got a nostalgia playlist.
I love it.
I was like, can we swap?
I do
We had
too.
a lot of overlapping.
But mine's like R&B. It's not.
Excuse me?
I'll share that with you later.
Yes, please. Love it.
Oh, so I was going to say, I used to have this Shania Twain album. I know.
The best album.
And I loved playing it on the weekends and dancing around and cleaning the living room to it.
Cheryl, I don't know what's going on with Toby Keith.
Rest in peace. He passed away.
I did not know that. Like recently?
Yeah, like last week.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. May the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. Amen. I did not know that. Sorry for your loss, Cheryl.
Beach Boys. Love the Beach Boys.
Wow. Beach Boys. That's good.
What about Earth, Wind, and Fire, guys?
I just know that one song. Do you remember the 21st night of September?
I do remember it.
Rick Springfield, no idea. You guys, if I for Lent one year, it is Fat Tuesday, so this is an appropriate story. One year for Lent, I asked the Lord, what do you want me to do for Lent? And he said, dance every day. And I was like, no. Then I started crying, so I knew it was it. And I was like, fine. I made a playlist. Some of you know this. I talk about this. I made a playlist of dance songs.
Love
It
it.
is joy in a playlist. To like put on that dance playlist does wonders for my heart and soul and body and mental health. You know what I mean? Highly recommend.
Ooh.
Highly recommend.
Okay, some people are talking about virtue already. So.
Oh, we're getting into the virtues. I'm sorry. I'm over here talking about Backstreet Boys, nostalgia playlists, and you guys are like, can we get to the good stuff?
Can we get to the good?
I thought the same thing. We're on a little music kick.
I was all over the place with music in high school. Everything from rock to classical to boy bands to female singer-songwriters. Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
We love it.
All right, today we thought we would talk about, I don't even know, Steph. We didn't touch base on this. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned. I'm curious. What are you going to say about virtue?
When all else fails, quote the catechism, you know?
Here we go.
So I looked it up last night. Did my little homework.
That's so sweet. What did you learn? What teach us?
Well, I think it was more of an affirmation of like, I think, and it's perfect timing because we're getting into Lent, right? And we're taking on or fasting from certain things. And the hope is that they help us kind of orient our lives back to the way the Lord is calling us to live. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was great timing because the hope is that whatever we choose to do during Lent, it does create this virtue in us to continue to seek the good, to continue to hear and live in the Lord's presence and to be followers of him. So I just thought that it was good timing because we're getting into Lent, and maybe that could be some encouragement to us, is like, I'm doing this literally because I just want to think of all that is good and pure. Wow. And, have my mind on these heavenly things, these things that will bring good out of me. And that should be the ultimate goal, not like I completed this checklist and I'm done, I was thinking about that. I'm listening to Bible in a Year. I've said this probably every Q&A since because I love the accountability.
Are you behind?
I'm way behind.
Me too.
But you know what?
I just got behind.
I'm still listening, and I'm like, usually at this point, whoa, I would have quit. I would have been like, well, I'm too far behind. And I'm like,
no, don't give up.
This morning, I literally thanked the Lord. I was like, thank you that like you haven't let me quit. Yeah. And I was just thinking about that. Like, it's just the practice of showing up every day, and the Lord's going to bless that. Yeah. And I'm like, this is bringing forth virtue. I'm not on day, whatever day we're on now, 50 something. I'm on my day 24. And the Lord, but what I'm getting to is like, it's brought about this practice and like this discipline almost of not trying to fall off and just keep going despite being behind.
Yeah.
Wow. There we go.
Renee. Wow, good for you, Renee. Keep going.
We're all in this together.
I'm just kicking myself because I read the most incredible thing about virtue in Divine Intimacy 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. About like the road to perfection and how like beyond, what was the last one? Like the last one is like perfection, and then I have the wrong word. Anyway, the last step is heroic virtue. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just, like, goodness. It's, like, heroic virtue, above and beyond. Megan, can you find that for me? I know you have Divine Intimacy. Do that little search feature you use.
Megan said, my pastor loves to quote Aristotle's definition of virtue, the mean between two extremes.
Wow, that's cool. I don't know, Megan. It could be around 75. That's where I was reading this week. Okay, my big takeaway that I'm pondering about virtue came in confession on Friday night.
Ooh, Beth. What?
And it was such a massive grace. I can't even tell you. I finished confessing all of my...
You went to confession on Friday?
First of all, I had to mortify my... Well, here's what happened. I had a hair appointment. I normally go every Wednesday. I have a date night with the Lord, confession, mass. We go to dinner. Uh-huh. It's so sweet. But I had a hair appointment, trying to get it done before my birthday, before retreat. And I got there, and they'd already stopped hearing confessions for the night. I was like, bummer. But I felt like the Lord wanted me to go on retreat, which I normally do not do. I know. I'm telling the whole team, go to confession. Yeah. But I felt the Lord being like, no, go on the retreat. There will be so many holy priests there, like, go on retreat. So then our chaplain, Father Michael, got there early, and he's like, hey, I'll hop in the confessional. I was like, Lord, no. oh no, I want to be friends with him. I don't want to go. But I went to confession, and it was life-changing. I had spiritual direction yesterday. I was talking about it so much. Basically, I finished all of my, I'm just like so mortified in the very best way. You know what I mean? And he says, sounds like virtue is hard for you. Yeah, what? Exactly. And I want to tell you something. It was such a moment of grace because my heart was pierced in that moment. But in the best way. I just chuckled. I was like, it really is. Virtue is really hard for me. And I like joke all the time with Jenna. Like, virtue comes so easily to Jenna. She would say it doesn't, but like Jenna can overcome herself easier than I can, you know? And he said, sounds like virtue is hard for you. And I was like, yeah. Wow. But this is the grace, is that when my heart was like literally pierced, I felt that. And I wanted to be embarrassed. There was no shame. It was just like freedom. It was true humility. I was like, that's true. It is hard for me. And I felt my heart was so soft to receive that, to actually own it and say, virtue is really hard for me, you know? Wow, Beth. And then he said, but I feel bad for people for whom virtue comes easily, because you can begin to believe that you don't need God, that you can do it on your own. I was like, excuse me? Yeah, so the fact that right? Oh, there's more. So he said, you can wonder, I understand, I know this. You can wonder, I've been at this so long. Some of this was in his homily later. You've been at this so long. Why aren't you better? Why haven't you overcome these things? You can get discouraged and think like, am I defective? What's wrong with me? He said, you're not defective. You're dependent. And that is a grace. So actually, virtue not coming easily to me is a grace because it makes me more dependent on the Lord. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that so good?
I'm still thinking about his homily.
Me too.
I told him, I said, I felt like the Lord didn't want me to leave without focusing on that homily. Like, that was for me. That was like, I needed to hear that. And just like that idea, it was like the Lord delights in being my savior. And we say this and it sounds great, but like, truly, even now, we've been at this for years, Lord.
Man. Yeah, that homily, honestly, I thought during it, I wish I was taking notes. Hi, Caroline. I wish I was taking notes to the homily. And then this like peace washed over me. It's recorded. It's on the virtual retreat. So I can go back. And then I called Lexi the next day. How did virtual retreat go? What was it like from that end? She's like, oh, I was just listening to Father Michael's homily again. I was like, I get it. I know. Yeah, I know. Ladies, it is recorded. Yeah.
Anyone can purchase.
3 times, Lexi, you've listened to it. Wow.
Anyone can purchase this virtual retreat and have access to all of the talks. I told Beth, like, I can't wait to go listen to your workshop.
Yeah, Yesenia, you can. You can listen to what is that? 6 talks from the weekend. I don't know. Are they up yet? I tried to look in the channel. I think they were all live events, but I don't know if the recorded's up yet.
They might be up. That's a great point. They should be up by the end of the week then. If they're not sent into the...
I didn't see them yesterday.
Ooh.
That's it, G. That's it. Humility is even more important when cultivating virtue. Someone says it. Some saint, John of the Cross, Augustine, somebody says, Teresa of Avila, the first mansion is humility, is self-knowledge. This is me paraphrasing, but like this is a theme in all of the writings of the saints, the great saints, that humility has to come first. Yeah. So that was a real grace for me. Yeah.
I want to define, because I think someone in the comments asked, like, can we start by defining what virtue is?
Yeah, it's very good.
And so we hear the word virtue, we can probably think of like the cardinal virtues or what, but there are like, what is virtue in general? So I'm going to read from the catechism. This is paragraph 1803. And so it says, a virtue is a habitual and firm disposition to do the good. It allows the person not only to perform good acts, but to give the best of himself. The virtuous person tends towards the good with all his sensory and spiritual powers. He pursues the good and chooses it in concrete actions.
Wow. Can we just read that line by line and talk about? I feel like there's a lot there. It's so hot in here.
So, first, a virtue is a habitual and firm disposition to do the good.
Yes.
So not like
Yeah. Say something.
not
About
like
that.
an accidental glad that happened for you. Like I think I was in a philosophy class with Dr. Hanning years ago with you at UMary, and
Yeah.
it was one of the things he talked about is like virtue. It's like if you were to be an example would be like if you're walking down this street and your jacket accidentally falls but it falls over a puddle and someone gets to walk over it, and they don't get wet. That's great. But if you are intentionally taking off your jacket to put it on the puddle so that someone can have a better experience, then that would be virtuous. When you are consciously working to do something because of your inclination for good, and then you do good. Instead of like, well, oh, my jacket fell, but I'm glad you were able to step over it.
Yeah.
So it's like there's intentionality there.
Yes. I love that. I love that word, like the disposition to do the good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, next line.
Like this is my desire. This is what I want. Even if the circumstance has not yet presented itself to me, I desire to choose the good. Mm-hmm. It's a disposition. I love that.
Yes. Okay, it allows the person not only to perform good acts, but to give the best of himself.
Wow.
I'm getting the word integrity.
Wow.
Like just wanting to be a person of integrity.
It makes me give the best of themselves is something. I wrote a devotion on it. It's not coming out for like 2 months, but just this. It's very theology of the body. It's very JP2. Mm-hmm. It's Thomas Aquinas' definition of love, like as a gift of self. Yeah. So that's so interesting to make that connection. For me, that virtue is the concrete way of giving the gift of self. Okay.
I would also say that it's kind of what we've been talking about. Oh, sorry. I put 1308. It's 1803. We've been talking about living in this overflow. I think that's also part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, next line. The virtuous person tends toward the good with all his sensory and spiritual powers. He pursues the good and chooses it in concrete actions.
Yeah, so good. I loved that. The catechism, what a treasure trove.
Yeah. When all else fails,
So a couple of comments here I would love to just linger with before we move the party over to the app exclusively. Can we go back? Tell me, first of all, is it Ariel or Ariel? Just curious. Okay, I'm finding that living in the guilt and shame of sin and mistakes is more comfortable than receiving the Lord's mercy and love. I don't know. I subconsciously think that I have to earn it. And if I don't constantly feel the guilt and shame, then I'm not sorry. Any saints or suggestions? Yeah, honestly, you're going to think, but what you're describing is the homily from the from the Drawn retreat this weekend. He said, like, we go and we receive the Lord's mercy, and then somehow, even though the God of the universe, the Savior of the world, can forgive us, we somehow have higher standards for ourselves than Jesus does. We are not willing to forgive ourselves, but Jesus is. That thing, when he said we have higher standards for ourselves than God does, I was like, ooh, that was so good. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Suggestions. I would say, I think we shared a little bit. Pray for humility.
Yeah.
We put God in his rightful place, and we are dependent on him, like we've talked about. So I would pray for humility, that the Lord is going to work for good in our lives, and that I don't decide when I'm forgiven. The Lord, I just accept that he has forgiven me. Going to confession, like there's nothing, I don't think you can go too much. Personally, like,
yeah, no, I agree.
There's nothing like going to confession and literally, I think that's the beauty of the Catholic Church, is like receiving mercy, having an audible just love and message come to you. Like the Lord forgives you, sees you, he's proud of you for going to confession. Man, I think that sin starts to help us chisel sin. I think it's just, we kind of build callous for more sin, and
good.
Confession chisels that away. Like, no, like you're so good under under that protection that you're trying to make for yourself.
Yeah, you'll see in the Lent devotional this year, every Saturday is set aside for the sacrament of confession. We're really trying to forge or establish or increase in frequency regular confession. And I share catechism references in there to really develop a love and an understanding of the sacrament. And one of the days, I want to say it's like week 3 or 4, talks about how the church encourages us to go to confession for venial sins. Like if we want to advance on the way of perfection, we have to rid ourselves with God's grace and by his light. We have to rid ourselves of even attachments, like interior attachments, little sins, like the way Divine Intimacy is talking about this right now, which is a daily devotional that I do, that I know many of you do as well. Divine Intimacy, Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene is describing these interior attachments, these what we think are little sins. If there's any stain of sin on our souls, it prevents us from perfect union with God. So we aspire to rid ourselves of any attachment, of any proclivity, of any desire and delight in these little selfish sins. And that was so interesting. John of the Cross gives this beautiful analogy of like sunlight coming through a window. And I'm not going to do it justice at all. It's so poetic. I love him. Pray for us. Talks about this sunlight coming through a dirty window. You can still see the light, but it's muddled and you can't quite see through it. But when the pane of glass becomes translucent, when it's totally clear, it not only radiates, it not only displays the light of the sun with like perfect clarity, you actually confuse the pane of glass with the sun itself. Like it's becoming so like the sun. Isn't that an insane image?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Today, I read a different one where he talks about these like little attachments and how like if a bird is fettered, chained with like a thick rope or just like a little thread, the point is it cannot fly. No matter if it's this like substantial rope or just a thin thread, it still cannot fly. It's still fettered. So this is why we go to confession, to free ourselves of any hindrance to God's grace in our lives.
Yeah. To put light.
For him to free us. I'm sorry.
To bring his light in, I think, to any little crevice of darkness, you know?
Megan, you found it. I just love you so much. This is what I was saying at the very beginning. The lukewarm must become fervent. The fervent must reach perfection. The perfect must attain heroic virtue. There is something beyond perfection even. Like there's more. There's always more with the Lord. Yeah. Wow. Do you want to read any of these? We love a good divine intimacy.
Okay, should we hop over?
Yeah, we'll continue over there. I do just, Annalise, I saw your comment over here on YouTube and I love that. This Lent, I'm going to give up avoiding prayer, and I want to share with you a little what do we say? A life hack. A friend of mine this weekend on retreat said that they prayed for the grace of FOMO for prayer.
Oh.
Yeah, because other things can like keep us from approaching prayer, but we want to actually start feeling like, I don't want to miss this. Something so good is happening in prayer that I don't want to miss it. And we have that about other things, and so we put off prayer, but like to flip the script and pray for FOMO of prayer or in prayer. Wow. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I thought that was a cool little...
You know what it made me think of?
What's that?
And I don't want to miss a thing.
Wow. I am loving the musical
nature. It's happening, guys. We're going to head over and join us on the app so you don't miss a thing.
Yeah, and you can. Come on. Let's go.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.